signings of the season. I want to hear your top 3 because I can't think of 5. So I'll start with you, Sean. Top 3 signs of the season.
Yeah, well, I think I've got 3 unconventional ones. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
And the first one isn't exactly a signing, but he's a new addition to the team, and that would be Kobe Mainu for United, who's come through the academy, who's been called up to the first team. I think he's been great. He's someone that apparently was recognised as having a lot of talent. Had an injury last year or start of this year, I believe, during pre-season. But he's just come into the squad and he's been called up to the England team already. He's so young and he shows that he's got a skill set, not necessarily the same sort of skill set as, say, like a Jude Bellingham or someone like that, but he does a lot on the pitch that it's quite rare to find in young players. Normally you find more seasoned, mature players who play like him. So for me, he's number 3. Number 2, I doubt you've heard of him. He's actually the Arsenal head of the Arsenal medical team and performance team. Zafik Bal. He's a doctor. He was I think he was at Crystal Palace beforehand, Liverpool, Leyton Orient. Now Arsenal are competing against City for the title, and their depth is nowhere near the same depth as City's. They have got quite a low injury turnover compared to other teams. And you have to look at the staff that have been brought in to implement the changes because a few years ago Arsenal were known for having quite a lot of injuries quite often. Last season they were in the lower numbers, and this season once again they're in the lower numbers. So when you're going up against City, who've got players like Núñez on the bench for fun, I think it's important to keep all your key players fit. So he needs to be given some credit. But my number 1 best sign in the season is for Wolves manager Gary O'Neill. He's come in to a team that has had its fair share of bit of manager turnover and turmoil. You got the likes of what was his name, Bruno. I've forgotten his name. He was after Nuno, but he came into the Wolverhampton squad. Apparently the team were quite down. They were playing quite bad football. Then they had Julian Lopetegui come in, and more of a positive sort of style of football was being played. But then he's fallen out with the ownership model. And at the start of this season, talking to a lot of Wolves fans, when Fosun, the management company behind Wolves, signed Gary O'Neill, they thought it was a sign of intent that Fosun were taking a step back from Wolves. Maybe they're getting a manager that was ready to look after them in the Championship. And he has completely changed everyone's mind. He did a Monday Night Football with Carragher and Gary Neville, where he broke down the analysis of his training sessions to prepare for a certain game. He was talking about analysis. He was looking at gaps in play. He is a sign of what English coaching has come. Why he's one of the new breed of English coaches that it can only be a positive thing. And yeah, all right, the way Wolves are finishing this season, they're not in the top 10, but I think they've had a really good season, and I think Gary O'Neill's a big part of that.
No, I think so as well. That's very outside the box thinking there on your 3, but definitely Gary O'Neill.
Obviously, the Wolves owners obviously saw how good he was doing that with Bournemouth, and to be fair, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't understand why his time at Bournemouth finished.
Ownership problems, probably.
Because he 25 matches in charge.
Just lost 9-0 to Liverpool when he came in, didn't he?
Yeah, 0.92 points per game. He's had 44 matches at Wolves, and it's 1.34 points per game. Yeah, all right, it's not setting the world on fire, but it's a lot better than some.
Start of seasons go down.
Well, exactly. That's the point I'm making. Like, Gary O'Neill he's a fantastic modern manager.
He probably is easily one of the managers of the season. Then, really.
Yeah, I don't think he's even made the shortlist. For me, I think it's embarrassing because of how well he's done.
Yeah.
So
The second one was I thought you was going to note the Arsenal set piece coach because they've scored a lot of set pieces this year. But I didn't know about it.
I definitely would say Arsenal set piece coach is up there.
Yeah, see, Dylan, if you give me the running order of this episode a little bit earlier, maybe I would have.
I'll get it out early next week. So you got a week.
Talk to me about their stats. I don't know. Tell me more.
No, I just know that I think Arsenal scored
it's Man City's old set piece coach as well, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh, I don't care about them. Yeah, the Arsenal set piece last year, they had, I think, 1 goal from a set piece or something really small. And this year they're top of the division for set piece goals. And that was due to a new set piece instructor. 18 goals they've scored this year on set pieces.
Have you... Go on, carry on, sorry.
No, I was just going to see what was there last year, but yeah, go on while I get the stats up.
Have you seen the Aston Villa set piece coach?
I haven't.
He looks like Shawn Michaels from WWE. Yeah, it's just like you got him and Unai and Emery look like they're a tag team, and I'm all for it because like he's got this long hair. When they score, I remember they scored against United from a set piece, and he's loving life, and you're happy. He's a bit like Rick Wakeman from Status Quo, but I don't think you guys will know who that is.
No.
But he just looks like a happy guy and a character. Football's full of loads of people that are a bit clinical and haven't got any character, so I like to see it. Do you want to tell me some set piece stats of who scored the most this year, Deals?
I can do. Everton were 15 goals in second, obviously Arsenal first in 18. Yeah. Villa 12 goals this year on set pieces.
Oh, Villa in first. See, he's obviously doing a good job.
Good old Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
You know I'm sexy.
Luton were 12 goals as well. And then Newcastle 11, Spurs 10, same as Man City 10, and Wolves 10 as well.
How are United with set pieces?
How are United with set pieces? Probably not very well.
I've just seen the Aston Villa set piece coach, and his name is pretty wrestler-esque. Austin McPhee.
That sounds like a wrestler if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
2 goals, Sheffield United last. 3 goals for Palace. Burnley 3. Nottingham Forest 4. Brighton 6, which is surprising because they got Duncan Veltman. Same as Bournemouth. Brentford 7. West Ham 7, which is surprising with James Ward-Prowse signing at the start of the season.
Surprising, yeah.
United 7 and 12.
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing. It goes to show that set pieces are still part of the game. You can't pass the ball in the back of the net all the time. Sometimes you just need a big bloke to edit in.
Yep. So, George, your top 3, mate?
You know what? I'm going to say in third place, I'm going to say, I actually hate to say this, but I'm going to say Mickey van der Ven.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that he is, he's kind of upgraded. I'll say he's helped Tottenham's defence massively by being that unique sweeper defender.
Yeah.
Because Romero loves to rush into a challenge. We all know that. But I just find him unbelievable. I'm a bit worried if England had to play Holland and you've got Van der Ven and Van Dijk as the back pairing.
Yeah, that is that's a right. Oh, can you hear the thunder and lightning where I am? That is a right pair.
So I'm definitely going to say Van der Ven's one. It's definitely third. It would have been close between Van der Ven and Vicario, Tottenham's goalkeeper. I actually like him as well.
Ah, interesting.
I hate to, it's just don't. I actually said Tottenham players as well. Ugh.
You talk about Tottenham like you're an Arsenal fan, but you're a Chelsea fan, right?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know how much Chelsea and Tottenham hate each other.
Yeah, well, I just assumed Chelsea hated everyone.
Oh, we do pretty much hate everyone, but we have a special hate towards Tottenham.
Oh, so I didn't know this. This is interesting.
I get confused with this because Chelsea's main rivals, you say, are Spurs, right? But then Spurs would say Arsenal.
Yeah.
And if you ask QPR,
but you know what? If you ask a few other Spurs fans, though, they will say Chelsea. You'd be
that's
surprised.
it. Yeah, that is surprising.
Because, like, why do you like? I am definitely one of these proud fans to say this. I'm definitely a Chelsea fan that's in the stands sometimes when I go to a game, saying Tottenham get battered everywhere we go, or I will always stand up if someone goes stand up if you hate Tottenham.
Or your putch out sign, isn't it?
Hey, I'm still in Pottery trust, mate. Trust the process still. That's it.
Okay.
So, do you dislike do you dislike Tottenham more than you say like dislike Fulham, QPR, and Millwall?
Fulham are just are like little B team, mate. To me.
Ooh.
I don't like. Don't get me wrong. Fulham ain't a bad team, like, but I can't take them seriously if they're flying kites at training. Can I?
No, yeah.
So, like, yeah. Honestly, like, if there's only another team that I hate. Like, I might have to say this now. I probably hate Tottenham because my old man hates Tottenham from like the 70s and 80s. Definitely, I've probably been influenced like that.
That's football for you. We're all just trying to get our dad's approval.
Well, for me, during my upbringing, I should hate Man U, really, because of the rivalry Chelsea and Man U had.
Yeah. See, with Arsenal, the amount of times like with United and Arsenal, the rivalry they had, I kind of respect them more than a lot of other teams.
Yeah, because they're always there. They got some history behind them. Not like funded by some Russian oil guy or some Abu Dhabi money.
It is what it is for you boys, but
Hey, we're off track. What's your
sorry.
silence?
So third was Van der Ven, closely followed by Vicario.
Gotcha.
Second, you know what? Second, Gavardio.
Yeah.
Alpha City.
Good choices.
Yeah. Very solid. Again, I'm going with I would always choose a defender over a lot of players. As I say, the best form of attack is defense, really, because you're not going to concede a goal. You can win. I like Gavardio. I even liked his mentality yesterday when he was on for a hat trick, but he said Kyle Walker was trying to make him take the pen, and he said no. And that just shows you the maturity of him as well as a professional. That he's like, no, Julian Alvarez is the taker. He takes it.
Yeah, I think for a player to say no to a penalty is bigger than sometimes a player to say yes to one.
And he was on for he would have been the first defender, first centre back to ever get a hat trick in the Prem.
Mm-hmm.
But he plays left back.
He does, but he is dominantly a centre back.
I was surprised no one was really in for him. It was just really City. I mean, I don't know anyone
City
else.
went in early though, didn't they? They went in early and with the money, like I think it was like over 60 mil.
Was it? No, it was 60.
He's one of these players that always feels like there's some really obvious signings that should be made, and football fans can see the signings that need to be made, and it's like those signings don't get made until last minute by someone. Liverpool tend to do it with a lot of players. Like they'll just get someone somehow, and it's like, oh, surely everyone was looking at him. Why wasn't someone else trying to get? Do you know what I mean? Does that sound a bit too vague?
They do it like
Man United do that a lot. Man United always go for players, but a lot of the time, United just won't want to pay the money that they do. And sometimes they do pay the money, and I'm thinking, what the hell are you paying at? Like,
yeah.
Like you said with Ante, it was because there was a week left. That's why he was worth that much, because of the hassle of them having to replace him.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I'm definitely going to just say Gavardio was one under the radar for a lot of teams. I know that we were looking at buying him, but we didn't in the end.
Bloody hell.
Chelsea after everyone, weren't they, in summer? So
we had $1 billion budget. So we were in for probably 99.9% of the players on the market. But
so
again,
like one stage, Liverpool after a player like Lavia, Chelsea come in and get him. So I say though, Chelsea come in and get him.
You know what? I might have to refrain Van der Ven say Gvardiol's third and actually change it. I just thought of a player and I can't believe I only just remembered who I'm thinking about.
Oh yeah, I know you're going to say. Go on.
But who do you think I'm going to say?
Cole Palmer.
No. For second,
really?
like I'll put Gvardiol third.
Go on then. Who are you going to say? Who are you going to say?
Second, I'm saying Declan Rice.
Oh yeah, great shout.
Oh, he was my number one.
I feel like he's definitely one of the players that's actually covered depth. Like he was an absolute brilliant replacement for Xhaka. In hindsight, like, I feel like Xhaka was a big player for Arsenal, but Rice has just came into that and perfect for the system.
Yeah, he's like another lad that was obviously available in the summer, and it felt like it was just one way, like no one else was looking at him. Even with Eni Aluko saying that maybe other clubs should be phoned up to put bids in. Why didn't United follow Eni Aluko's?
I thought why didn't we? I don't know why we didn't go for him because we had him before, and that's what annoys me is that we had him before. He could have came back to us.
Yeah, Chelsea have had some great players come out of their academy. We're not
gonna go there. I hate to talk about. Like, to be fair, we've had a lot of players that have gone out of our hands and they've turned out into being well beaters like Salah and De Bruyne. But
imagine having that middle now of Mount, Rice, and Harvey Elliott all for free.
Oh, then they had Harvey Elliott.
We never had Harvey Elliott.
They did. He was at Chelsea, and then they got dropped for being too small, and then he ended up at Fulham.
Well, I'll be honest. I wouldn't be proud of having Harvey Elliott. I don't think he's exactly good enough. Like for Liverpool could do better.
Really?
I think that. I feel.
Is that because you ain't got him?
No. Like, I'm glad that we got rid of Mason Mount now after this fortunate replacement we got from him. But yeah, no. Rice is definitely second, and then I'm gonna just say Cole Palmer's first for the amount of money that we spent on him, and look what he's done.
I would have 3 Cole Palmer. Oh no, 2 Cole Palmer. I go actually.
Yeah.
3 Van der Ven. Yeah, 3 Van der Ven, 2 Cole Palmer. I would put him 1, but he scored 12 penalties, so yeah.
Still got to put him in the back of their net though.
I know you got to put him in the back of the net, but still 12, and was it 20 he scored?
Yeah, but his progressive passing is fucking great too.
He's got a lot of assists as well.
Yeah,
like, some great stats.
He's not just a goal scorer; it's his midfield plays fantastic.
Yeah.
Some of the balls he puts through is like a locksmith, just unlocks it for us.
Just the way he's like coming to the team as well. Like you probably didn't expect him to take the team on his back.
I love his mentality as well.
He's like a fast Fabregas.
You know what? I could agree with you. He reminds me of Di Maria a bit though. With the way how he moves about.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think Di Maria, and with his size, he was quite a bit bigger.
Yeah. Every time you say his name, it's like hearing an ex's name. It hurts.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that game? Do you know he came on and like
he doing well?
Getting crosses at United.
Is he doing well? Does he ever mention us?
Number 1 for me, Declan Rice.
Yeah, great shout.
Never injured. Run the show the whole year in the Arsenal field. He's chipped in with goals and assists.
But has he done enough to get in?
Actually, I've got a question for you two then. Who's had a better season, Rodri or Declan Rice?
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
I disagree.
I don't even know the stat. I can't see the stats, but
Rodri, you can't. I feel like Rodri is so important to City that there's a reason why he has not lost 70 games in a row.
Yeah, but the type of possession they have.
Who replaces Rodri when he doesn't play?
It's Kovacic.
Right.
I believe.
So, do you reckon he's Kovacic more important to City than Rice is important to Arsenal?
I think Rodri's more important to City. Like Kovacic has already set his grounds by being a second fiddle player anyway. Rodri is basically the new Sergio Busquets if you've got to think about it.
If you could have either one at Chelsea, who would you have?
I'll take Rodri.
Over Rice?
Yeah.
But I don't see Rodri sitting in your team and getting that sort of performance.
You might be right. Is that our style football? Rice would suit him 10 times better, 100%. But I highly rate Rodri. But like I said, if I had to say player of the season, it depends on who wins the league as well.
Yeah.
For me, that's the final verdict. But Rodri is
If City win the league, then what player would you pick for player of the season? Foden.
No, I'll say Rodri.
Rodri. He's not in.
Who do you think? Who do you think here? Who would you say is player of the season then?
Cole Palmer.
For me, player of the season, I would probably say Foden, and the reason why is you look at how long De Bruyne was injured for, and Foden, who was playing a bit more as a wide player, he sort of excelled, took on loads of responsibility, and sort of was an outlet for the City team when they were missing arguably the best midfielder in the world. So I'd say Foden.
I'll say Cole Palmer personally, regardless of who wins the title. The way he came into the Chelsea team, everyone thought he'd be a bit part player, maybe start a few games, and he's just basically took the team on his back and got that many goals and assists. Yeah, some were penalties, as I mentioned earlier, but yeah, as you said, still got to finish them.
The mentality to take a pen, even when you had two other players fighting him for a pen.
I personally think he should have gave that one away, but that's it.
Nah, my opinion on that is, again,
it shows his ruthless side, doesn't it?
Well, you know what? It shows his ruthless side, and that's what we need in the team.
Yeah, let's not give him too much credit. I did see a video the other day where he didn't know what PM meant. Maybe he wasn't aware of what was going.
No. Again, you might. It doesn't matter because you've got players that ain't exactly gonna be. I think he's just so intelligent on the pitch anyway as a footballer.
Yeah, off it then.
So I don't really care. I don't really care about the intelligence off the. Like Jack Grealish is a phenomenal player on the ball, but he ain't exactly bright, is he now?
You're just going against his accent. That's all it is.
All
the Brummies out there.
Yeah.